It is Friday morning, the 22nd of May. It's about 6 o'clock and we are leaving Summerton. Plan is to go straight to Aruba. Distance is 500 and little miles. There should be quite the wind from the east, so I expect a fast and comfortable sail. Goodbye, Summerton. Said it's Friday the 22nd of May and we arrived here on the 24th of March, I believe, so we've been here for almost 2 months. Boats tend to stay a very long time in summertime, either to get repairs done like us or to provision and prepare the boat for the trip back across the Atlantic to Europe. By now it's 6:40. We got our sails up, started with a full main. It's 16 knots from 100 degrees. Trying to get the sail adjusted. New sail is always tricky, trying to find out how it should at best fits. We've got tighten on the foot. And the first time the sail sees action after the short trip we made with a second reef. Got a distance to the south point of Aruba of 515 miles. And if we manage with an average of 9 knots, at the moment it's 10, we are going to arrive at daylight, I calculated. Let's see, one never knows what happens. That's Dutch island of Saba. And by now, after 3 hours, we cannot see Sint Maarten any longer. The boat is going more than 10 knots. Doesn't really look like it, but that's what the instruments say. Yesterday evening we tried to put some new patches on the dinghy, but the Sigaflex didn't stick. Looks like we also might need a new dinghy. It's 6:30 in the afternoon and the day has been going really well. The wind is a little bit more east-northeasterly than what we thought. So it's a check on the deck before it gets dark, and Fabio just takes the boards completely up to release it from the sargassum that we see everywhere, and also just switch on the engines so that also there we do not have sargassum on the propellers. So the only thing that we cannot do anything about, of course, is the sargassum sticking on the rudders. It's one of the reasons actually we don't fish, because it's when we fish we're throwing out this line 30-40 meters, but it's useless when there's this much sargassum in the water, because it just it only picks up that and then starts floating, unfortunately. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on day 2, and behind me you see what is called the squall. It's still a little bit rainy, and That is actually the only problem we've encountered. We did close to 200 miles on the first 24-hour run, basically with only one problem, that when there came these kind of squalls, which are clouds that pack some rain and some wind. The autopilot couldn't keep the boat on course, and at 5:30 this morning we had the second one. And that is when we decided, right, we're going to reduce the mainsail. Of course, that meant that we were completely drenched. My watch, I think, was from 2:30 onwards. So as soon as the squall was over, I just dried myself and went straight to bed. So this is how it looks with one reef. Got a little rainbow. And as you can see, the wind comes pretty much from the back. Basically, the wind is east northeast, and then 15 minutes ago I had the squall of 30 knots. We've got 300 miles still to go. It's close to sunset. We still got 215 miles to go. So with a little bit of luck, we should manage it. But we do need some luck, because while there is plenty of wind, I'm between 15 and 20 knots. With gusts of more than 20, of course. I've had some other squalls. That's why we took a second reef, because when a squall comes, the wind from there moves to there. At that moment, I've got full power on the mainsail. The mainsail will take the boat up into the wind, so then the autopilot should drive it down again. But two small rudders against one huge mainsail, the rudders are losing out. So the autopilot didn't manage to get it down. So we've now got 2 reefs. Speeds are okay, they're between 8.5 and 9.5 knots. But we actually have got already most of the day a current on the nose of 1.5 knots. Now where this current comes from, we don't know, but it is a little bit annoying. See you tomorrow. It's actually, we've only seen the sun here in the afternoon, otherwise it's been pretty overcast. And there you see, this is the overcast, the squalls that I'm talking about. There's a rain patch in the middle, lots of wind in front and lull behind. This is the situation at sunset on Saturday. And there is the current against us. And let me switch on the tricolor top light so that boats can see us, although I think we probably met 2 or 3 tankers, but nothing else really. Good morning! It's Sunday the 24th of May, so we're Sunday. It's 8 o'clock, so this is our second morning, and we are going to arrive today. So we only had 2 nights, but not at but not before sunset. Got these squalls, so that is why we have 2 reefs instead of what we easily could have had only 1. With this second reef, we are actually canvassed according to the books, because while in a monohull, when there's 20 knots of wind, you put the main with 1 reef, because that is usually what you should do at 20 knots. In a catamaran, the rule is that you put the sails according to the gusts, not the mean wind. and the gusts are 25, and at 25 I need 2 reefs, meaning that I'm actually under canvas most of the time. Now the reason for this is, of course, that we don't heel. If this would be a monohull and I would have this gust of 25, I would lean over. When I lean over, I take the pressure out of the mainsail. Catamaran doesn't lean over, so the mainsail just absorbs these 25 knots. And that, as I said, means that the boat diverts, goes into the wind, and then I need a lot of rudder, which I don't have, to keep it on course. It's just after 6 o'clock. We're going to have another hour of sunlight, but that's not enough to reach the south point of Aruba, which is still 25 miles away, so that's 3 hours. And then I still have 12 miles to go up on the west coast before I get to the anchorage. So I came up here in front. I thought I'm going to put my yellow quarantine flag, and then we are going to do the checking in tomorrow morning. Today it's the 24th of May, and I just checked. We left Aruba last year on the 19th of September, and then we did a circle of more than 5,000 miles. And in that time we managed to see places that we have never seen before. Actually, the only place that we had already visited was Cuba, which was on the trip 2003-2004. And then of course St. Martin, where we spent 2 months this year for works and 2 months last year for work. So when we left September last year, we went to Jamaica. We left Jamaica when the Hurricane Melissa was coming. Then we went to Cayman. And how could we have known that months later, Mike and Karen from the Cayman would deliver us a new mainsail on St. Martin. And from Cayman, then the trip went to the Bay Islands of Honduras. We went into Rio Dulce of Guatemala. We saw Belize. We had that terrible trip back to Cuba. And then from there, we saw the Bahamas. Now, by now, I think, therefore, if we combine what we've seen in 2003-2004 with what we saw last year and this year, we have basically seen the whole of the Caribbean. Except the main things that we miss are the Virgin Islands, both the BVI and the US Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. But then people say that's the problem of cruising. The main difficulty is accepting that you cannot see it all. Plan is that we are going to fly back to Europe in 2 weeks' time. The Faidapiu is going to be taken out of Varadero, just like last season. It's going to spend the summer there, and then we're going to come back in autumn. So I'm going to spend my summer in Italy, learning how to play tennis again, and enjoying a dishwasher, and of course preparing for next year's adventures. Now we'll be back in 5 months' time.